Manchester United is set to take on Burnley tomorrow at the Turf Moor. It's really coming in late at 22 hours. That's when the game of football is going to be played, and United is really geared up from Bayern Munich, obviously scoring 3 goals away from home, and losing that goal by 4-3 was really a very huge boost to the club of Manchester United and the players, by the way, because it looked like most people on social media were calling it a curse, and I was not one of those who really called it a curse. Even Ten Hag first regarded it as being unlucky, but he came out and said it's we to make our own luck by making these chances count. When you look at the game of Arsenal, we had chances to kill off the game, we couldn't. The game of Tottenham Hotspur that we lost 2-0, remember very well, in the first half, we had close to 4 chances to kill off the game. Bruno getting the most obvious chance and couldn't really put that ball in the back of the net. The game of Nottingham Forest, we won it, but we created chances and really scored only 3. Then in the game of Brighton, we had chances and couldn't bury them into the back of the net. But in the game of Bayern Munich, we started off on a very good note. Created close to 3 chances in the first 20 minutes, and we couldn't kill them off. We dominated the game for 28 minutes, not until Andy Onana gifted Leroy Sane with a goal in the 28th minute, and then they doubled in the 33rd minute. So it shows you that there is a very huge positive into that game. Rasmus Hojlund scoring his first goal for Manchester United. That means it takes pressure off him, that everyone is not going to be looking at him, that is not going to score goals for Manchester United, because people have been obviously trying to attach his price tag to the amount of goals he has not gone ahead to score for Man United. And scoring against Bayern Munich just shushes the mouths of very many people in there for you, and obviously that has gone ahead to be as a positive. Rasmus Hojlund and the connection of Marcus Rashford for that first goal he scored in that game shows you that maybe the chemistry that Erik Ten Hag was calling in for City, that it happens in between Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Hojlund, has started to form. Secondly, for me, the hugest positive is scoring 3 goals. Guys, scoring 3 goals on the day is really great, and we just need to find ourselves in a position of really praising the Lord and obviously accepting this that is obviously happening the way we want it to be at this club of Manchester United. So to me, I really feel positive and I'm really vibed up as far as this goes on, because no one is going to obviously make United get back to where it's supposed to be other than these players. But the beauty of all this is simple. Manchester United has gone ahead to score 3 goals. Now we know that we can score those goals, and the biggest undoing we have is we are letting in very many goals. Since the season started, we have so far let in close to 13 goals. 2 against Spurs, 2 against Nottingham, that is 4. Then 3 against Arsenal, those are 7. 3 against Brighton, those are 10. And 3 against Bayern Munich, those are 13 in just 6 games played, and we've gone ahead to concede 13 goals. That is really unacceptable at Manchester United, and I pray to it that we should keep our second clean sheet this season. Remember, we have only 1 clean sheet that we kept as we faced Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they almost tore us apart. But it was by God's grace that we went ahead and obviously got that goal from Rafael Varane that saw us win that beautiful game of football where we almost lost. So that is it coming in from Manchester United. And when you look at the team we are going to play, that is Burnley. Burnley has been really having some huge problems this season. They've gone ahead to play 4 games, and they've not gone ahead to win any. They only have 1 point. When you look at the Premier League table, Burnley is placed 19th. They are still in the relegation zone, and Manchester United is placed 13th. And it's all up to us to obviously go ahead and obviously win this game. And after winning it, we will be really back to what we call the winning ways. When you look at Burnley, ever since they came to the Premier League, they first played Man City. That game ended 3-0 in favor of Man City. Then they hosted Aston Villa. Aston Villa beat them by 3 goals to 1. Then they played away, so they hosted Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs beat them by 5 goals to 2, and their last visit at the City ground, that is Nottingham Forest, saw them end that game by 1-1. Now, the big question is, Are they getting ready to come and obviously take on the club of Manchester United? Because that is the huge test they're really having. Their centre forward, Lee Foster, is really out of this game as he was really red carded, and they're also having some injuries. You know, there is Michael Obafemi, he's having a hamstring injury. Hajmara Ekdel, he's having a new injury. Darko Chovenov, he got blood poisoning, and Vitinho has an injury, and they are still accessing Jordan Bear to see whether he's fine to obviously coming through and do the job. When you look at their side, they are not having great players, but it looks like they are really going to welcome some good players to obviously coming through and obviously do the needful. Like Sandy Baej is also another good player. They are also having Kolesesho in there for you. They're not having those big names, but you know, in the Premier League, you just can't say we're going to hate to win that game of football unless otherwise the final whistle is really blown. But I believe this is the game of football that we need to go and win. That is it. We need to win this beautiful game of football, and all what we need as a club of Manchester United is a win. Nothing less than a win. Then it will obviously compile more pressure to the club of Manchester United and Erik ten Hag, because as the club of Manchester United, when you look at the games we are having before we go to the national break, they are all games that we can win comfortably. Burnley, Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup, then we have to play them in the Premier League at Old Trafford. That is a double header that is going to be played at Old Trafford on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we have to play is it Brentford and is it Copenhagen at Manchester United. So these are the games you're supposed to win, and if at all you go on a stretch to win all these 5 games, I think that will be something great for the club of Manchester United, as we welcome back players like Mason Mount and Rafael Varane for this game. I think they are going to travel to the Turf Moor, but Kobe Menu and Sofiane Amrabat, we might seize them as we play either Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup next midweek, or on the weekend as we play Crystal Palace again in the Premier League at Old Trafford. That will be something great for the club of Manchester United. So the absentees are still really many. We are having 2 who are really out for non-footballing reasons, Jadon Sancho and Anthony. No one knows when they're going to return. For Jadon Sancho, when he puts in an apology, then he'll find himself forgiven. Then after that, there is another player that is out, Luke Shaw. There is Harry Maguire, who is expected to return in the game of Burnley. There is Malacia. Who else? Who else is injured? Amad Diallo is also injured. I think that's all. The list is going to hit to reduce a little bit after those 4 really got off that list. So we wait and see how that pans out. But those are the players available for this fixture, and Erik ten Hag is expected to go with a system of 4-2-3-1. That is the system that Erik ten Hag is set to play with as we take on that side of Burnley at the Turf Moor this weekend. And I tell you, if we keep it tight at the back, we can even score 3-4 goals past them. I know it's a team that obviously tries to play on a front foot, and they're going to be at home. The stadium really packed, but all I can tell you is that this is Manchester United that obviously gives shocks to us. We might think we're going to win, and maybe we come out obviously and lose. Now, what is our starting 11 gonna be like? Andre Onana having made a very big mistake and apologized to the fans of Man United and to his fellow players and coaching staff. I don't expect Bendir to come in through, because we are having a game in the midweek, that is next week, against Crystal Palace, and I think Bendir will be given a chance to obviously go through and obviously be in between the stitches. Now, I believe Andre Onana is going to be in between the stitches as United takes on the side of Burnley at the Turf Moor. The right back, I think it's going to be Diogo Dalot. I really like the way he's playing, and I think he's really not making us miss out on Bissaka, but we all know that we wanted it best when Bissaka is available and Dalot available, because we are really standing a very huge risk of really having Diogo Dalot play 2 games per week. That is it, because you remember, when you play 2 games per week, last season, when they're being knocked out by Morocco, he really got a hamstring injury that really kept him out for so long, and he just found himself in a situation of really losing his form. He's a very classy player. He has a talent. He's press resistant, but I'm afraid of him playing very many games every week. But the beauty of this is Ten Hag told us that Sofian Amrabat can also be played as a right back. So if at all Kobe Menu returns back, I think sometimes we might see Diego Dallo rested as Sofian Amrabat takes on the mantle to play as the right back for the club of Manchester United. But I think he's obviously going to do the job, and he'll close down very well the player known as Kolioso. That's it for the side of Burnley. Now the left back, no doubt about that, it's Sergio Roglan. With Luke Shaw out and Tyrell Malacia out, the only reason as to why we're missing Luke Shaw is because he could play into the left side of the central defense. But when you look at Sergio Roglan, I was talking to one of my friends called Damian. I told him that nobody of the left backs we have at Manchester United, Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia, has gone ahead to put in the final pass, into the final third of the pitch more than Sergio Roglan. I saw him in the game of Burnley trying to obviously put in some good crosses. Then in the game of Bayern Munich, he went ahead to put in close to 5 crosses in that entire game. And I would like to see to it that Sergio Roglan comes in through and puts in close to 10 crosses. 5 in the first half and 5 in the second half. That's what I want him to do, because for the very first time, we are having one of the best headers, one of the best headers of the ball, that is not Sergio Roglan, it's Rasmus Hojlund. He's a very tall guy, and the only header he got, he really made contact with it, but he headed it just slight over the bar in that game of Bayern Munich, and that cross was delivered by Diego Dallo, meaning that if we really use his aerial prowess very well, he's going to turn out into a threat when it comes to us crossing those balls into the 18 yards box area, because he's good on the ceiling and good on the floor. That is, good with his head and good with his foot. So for Sergio Roglan, I know he's going to start and obviously put in a shift very, very well. The central defense, I think we're going to welcome back Rafael Varane. We are welcoming back Rafael Varane, and I think this is the best game for him to play, as in the midweek, I don't expect Erik ten Hag to give him any minute. He's going to rest him as we are playing Crystal Palace, and he prepares him for the game of Crystal Palace over the weekend. So the likes of Harry Maguire will come in and obviously get a goal as United take on Crystal Palace into the Carabao Cup. Now, that will be good news for Rafael Varane to start into that fixture. On the left side of central defense, Lisandro Martinez. He's coming good. Apart from pushing Harry Kane into the assistant referee and being flashed a yellow card, the rest of the game for Lisandro Martinez was really impeccable, and he was really flawless on the day, and his being press resistant was really one of those that obviously caught the eye of many. So I anticipate that Lisandro Martinez is going to play into that midfield, into that left side of the central defense. Central midfield with Sofian Amrabat and Kobe Menu not confirmed to us by Erik ten Hag that they are really ready to come in through and really give us a go into this game. I anticipate it's going to stay the same. It's going to be Casemiro and none other than Christian Eriksen. That is it. With these players, obviously, we anticipate that we can win any midfield battle when it comes to teams like Burnley, and it's all about us doing the needful in the first half and win our game early. That's it, because every time you're playing teams like Burnley and you don't kill off the game, you just give them a chance of them keeping coming. So if we score our goals very well and really give us some time to obviously seize off the pressure, then we'll have very, very good control of this beautiful game of football. Then Bruno Fernandes is obviously going to play as the central attacking midfielder, and I think the manager noticed it that every time you play Bruno as a right winger, you miss out on what he does in the midfield. And we called upon this a lot after the game of Brighton, that we need to see Facundo Pellistri on the field of play, and Facundo Pellistri was given a go to play against Bayern Munich and really played very well. Now, who is going to play as the right attacking midfielder for Man United? I think Facundo Pellistri retains his position. If the manager was really convinced to give him a go when United was playing that side of Bayern Munich, then he has to start him when you're playing Burnley, because this time round we are going to be having the lion's share of the ball, and Facundo Pellistri is going to be gotten onto the ball very, very many times, according to what we know of a style of play and how it's going to be when we are taking on the side of Burnley. Then the left attacking side of the midfield, Marcus Rashford. Yet with another assist for Marcus Rashford, as Rasmus Hojlund really scored, and he was a little bit selfish. But I think the more they play together, the more they're going to build some good chemistry in between them and obviously get us going. When you look at the center forward, Anton Martial and Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund had a very decent 35-38 minutes, and even when, had a decent 65-68 minutes, and he was taken off for Anton Martial. When Martial came on through, he also contributed an assist for the second goal that Casemiro scored for Manchester United, and he really looked a bright spark. That's it. So I anticipate that the manager is obviously going to first start Rasmus Hojlund, and Anton Martial will start in the midweek as we take on the side of Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. So that is my predicted starting 11 for Manchester United as we pay a visit to Burnley. Burnley has been always those teams that has gone ahead to obviously put there a very hard situation, but I think it was way back when they're really having a manager who used to pack the bus. But for Vincent Kompany, he doesn't pack the bus. He lets his team play what we call an open game, and he wants to knock that ball around and pass it, and you never know, they might threaten us. But that's the best team we like to play against for Man United. Hit them on the break, do some bit of controls, and then try to do the tiki-taka when it really requires more. So we just have to find our defense really watertight, and I think with Rafael Varane, that defense is obviously going to be watertight as far as it's concerned for this team of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Smash the like button, comment and share. My prediction is 3-1 in favor of Manchester United. I think we are winning this one. We are winning this one because all that we've been praying for is to see to it that at least Mason Mount and Rafael Varane coming through, because when Eriksen is gassed out, you are 100% sure that there is a player you're going to bring in through and obviously get you going, and that is none other than Mason Mount off the bench to obviously go ahead and obviously continue where Eriksen has gone ahead to really end this game. So wait and see how that pans out. Your predictions are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me your additions or subtractions in the squad that I really believe is going to go on and take on the Burnley side and obviously cause lots of havoc to this team. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. It's a Friday. Muslims, Juma Kareem, and may Allah grant you the best that you guys deserve, and hope you've enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. How does that happen? All workouts. Just continue to really hit the notification bell after subscribing, and I call upon for 300 likes onto this video, and we will go in the best way that we deserve. Not so? I'm out. See you later when Allah or God decides for us to talk more and more and more. I'm out.